We are live.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the October 1st meeting of the East Hampton Town Board. Carol, would you please read the roll call?
Councilwoman Burke Gonzalez.
Present.
Councilman Lees.
Present.
Councilwoman Overby.
Here.
Councilman Bragman.
Here.
Supervisor Van Scoyac.
Present. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
For the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For today's meeting, we have 8 public hearings, followed by a public portion where any member of the public may address the board on any issue. And then the board will be doing resolutions. And I believe we have John Ryan Jr. with us today. John, I wanted to bring you on for a couple of reasons. First of all, before we get started, I just wanted to thank you for what was the best possible summer I think we could have had under the circumstances with COVID and whatnot. But really, we're just kind of using our invite today to bring you in under false pretenses because I want to honor you for proclamation.
Yes.
So let me just read this proclamation to you. Whereas John Ryan Jr. is the chief of the East Hampton Town Lifeguards, an organization recognized for its professionalism and training, the members of which oversee the safety of swimmers in our oceans and bay beaches. Whereas John Ryan Jr. was trained as a lifeguard by his father, John Ryan Sr., a lifeguard and water safety advocate himself, and achieved his certification at age 16. And whereas John Ryan Jr. worked his way up to become captain of the chief lifeguard in 1991, with his father started the junior lifeguard program in 92, and later implemented a school swim program to ensure that all East Hampton youngsters would learn about water safety. And whereas junior lifeguard program provides training for the East Hampton youth in water safety, swimming, and water rescue, so that they can in turn serve the public in our community as lifeguards. And whereas John Ryan Jr. taught his own daughters to feel confident in the water, and all 3 becoming certified lifeguards, and he started the Nipper Guard program for young children with his eldest daughter, Haley, in 2016. And whereas John Ryan Jr. was the founder in 2003 and leader of the East Hampton Volunteer Rescue Squad, a highly trained professional organization that plays a crucial role in assisting swimmers in distress and partners with other organizations to respond to water emergencies. And whereas 2020 marks the 40th anniversary of John Ryan's service as a lifeguard in the town of East Hampton, throughout the years, he's also served as East Hampton Middle School teacher since 1990. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the town of East Hampton congratulates John Ryan Jr. for his role to help create and sustain the town's remarkable lifeguard and ocean rescue organizations, and for his unwavering and devoted service to the town and its residents. So John, on behalf of the town board and our community, I want to thank you for your decades of service, the incredible program that you and your family, and it's really a legacy. And if anyone hasn't seen the documentary called Waterproof about the Ryan family's influence in our town and keeping people safe for generations and ensuring that people will be safe for generations to come, it is my indeed honor and pleasure to present you virtually this proclamation. and I'll make sure we get a copy to you. So,
Thank you.
congratulations to you. And I just want to add one more thing, and that is that, I know several of the board members, myself included, both my children went through the program, became lifeguards. I know Sylvia as well. And it just was an incredible experience for us as families to have that. But again, thank you for all that you've done all these years.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm very honored to have worked, when I say 40 years for an incredible organization in the town of East Hampton. I know a lot of people, they jump around from place to place. I'm honored to say I've worked 40 years for the town of East Hampton. And it truly is an honor because the support I've always felt from the town board, every year that I've been a lifeguard, I'm embarrassed a little bit because, it's not me. It really isn't. I will never take credit for what has happened here. I always thank God, I don't know what happened in my life that gave me this opportunity to do what I do. And somebody asked me a few years ago at a teaching conference, what do you, when you leave, what do you want to be most remembered by? I said, I want to make a difference. I really do. I want to make a difference. And I really think and I can't say I've done this, but I've done it with the help of so many people. And that includes the town board. We are so grateful that the town has supported this community in the way it does, looked at our water safe community, a waterfront community, and made it water safe. And it's not me, it's not my family, it's everybody that's helped in building what has happened, what has occurred here. So I thank you. I'm honored. I'm pleased. You fooled me. Yeah. I probably had a list of things here somewhere that I was
Sorry, Johnny.
You are the best. All of you are the best. And this local, our local township doesn't realize how much you do for the community. And I want to thank you. And I appreciate it.
Well, I think, thank you, John. And it's just part of your humble and modest nature to try and deflect all that back on others. And, but, truly, you really have made a difference. And we just wanted to let you know that the community recognizes that, and the town board recognizes that. And it really is a remarkable achievement, 40 years of service, and it's really been terrific. And you've really made quite a difference in many people's lives. So thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Congratulations, Johnny. Well deserved.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Care.
All right.
Best to all of you and your family.
All right. Appreciate it. All right.
So Carol, if you could move on to read the first hearing notice.
Notice of the public hearing is hereby scheduled to be held on the proposed local law amending Chapter 255 zoning of the East Hampton Town Code at Article 12 thereof, the use district zoning map, in order to change the use district zoning classification of certain lands located on 3 Mile Harbor Road from A3 residence to A3 residence with affordable housing overlay district as more fully set forth in the text of the local law and on the accompanying map. Said hearing to be held in Town Hall, East Hampton, New York, on Thursday, October 1st at 2 p.m. or as soon as this matter may be heard. Said local law to read as hereafter set forth. Due to the public and safety concerns related to COVID-19, the town board may not be meeting in person in accordance with the governor's executive order 202.1. The October 1, 2020 meeting of the town board is expected to be held via video conferencing, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The public will have an opportunity to see and hear the meeting live and provide comments. The public can watch the live meeting on local TV channel 22 or live online from the public meetings link on the LTV website. If any interested members of the public would like to provide comments on the public hearing, comments can be called in during the meeting at a call-in number provided hereafter and on the town's website and displayed on the live feed at the time of the hearing, 351-888-6331, pursuant to the requirements of the executive order of the Governor of the United States.
Thank you, Carol. We have Thomas Rule, who's our Director of Housing and Community Development, with us here today just to give a brief overview. And I'm going to share the screen of the subject parcel. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Tom?
Okay. This is a request by a private developer, Georgia Green Associates, in conjunction with East Hampton Housing Authority, both of whom are the developers of the property in Amagansett for Gansett Meadows, for a rezoning of two parcels, one of which the bright box and the one directly between it and the gravel pit shown on the aerial. The bigger of the two is approximately 11 acres. The smaller of the two is approximately 3.2 acres. But the number of units that could be built on the property is capped at 60 because that's the maximum permitted in the town code for an affordable housing overlay. This proposal is just to put an AHO on top of that, which is an affordable housing overlay district, which is districts that are in the town zoning code to encourage the development of affordable housing in the town and have been used in the past by the town to build Springs Fire Post Road apartments, Acaponic apartments, and a number of other affordable housing projects. This is a joint project application between the Housing Authority and Georgia Green. Does the board have any questions?
Any questions for Tom? Thank you, Tom. Michael, do we have any callers for this hearing?
Yes, we do. I will unmute the first caller in queue right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hearing nothing, Mr. Supervisor, I can move on to another caller.
Thank you, Michael.
Unmuting the next caller right now.
Good afternoon. This is David Buddha. How's everyone doing?
Very well, David. How are you?
Good. Before I start, let me just let everyone know, because you're on a different end. I'm on the receiving end. You're on the sending end. There's such a long delay, at least a minute, between the visual and what I hear on the phone that it's really hard sometimes to follow along. I don't know if that time delay can be reduced somewhat, but you have to try it from this end to see how confusing it is.
Mr. Supervisor, if I may just interject on that from LTV, there is a option for a much less delay on the LTV's website. The very first thing you'll see is a description for our YouTube live link, which if you watch it on our website via that link, the delay is virtually 8 to 10 seconds. Our video on demand page differs from that, which is about 45 seconds. So that's just some general information. Thank you.
Okay, I'll try it next time on YouTube. All right, here we go, if you're with me. The town proposal is to add an affordable housing overlay zoning district designation to 2 residential lots located at 286 and 290 3 Mile Harbor Road in East Hampton Hamlet. Now, this is actually an appropriate location for affordable housing because of the availability of public water, public transit, and not too far away market at Daymar's Market up the road. These 2 parcels total approximately 14 acres. They are, however, only 2 out of the 3 contiguous parcels that front on 3 Mile Harbor Road, which are currently zoned A3 Residence District. As you know, the minimum lot size in the A3 zone is 120,000 square feet. The third, similarly situated parcel that has been surprisingly omitted from the pending rezoning is commonly known as 298 3 Mile Harbor Road. It is vacant and has an area of approximately 3 acres, but has a very long and narrow configuration. While I commend the proposed zoning amendment to add an affordable housing overlay designation to the first 2 parcels, there is no good reason not to also include the parcel at 298 3 Mile Harbor Road in that overlay zone. Whether or not the East Hampton Housing Authority and its private partners might ever acquire this tract of land, and whether or not the authority is even interested in including this third parcel in its proposed affordable housing development, from a zoning perspective, I believe the town is legally obliged to include 298 3 Mile Harbor Road in the proposed rezoning. To not do so would leave a long and narrow, nearly 3-acre parcel in a unique zoning situation, separate and distinct from all of its neighbors. It would be in the bizarre situation of being the only lot in this A3 residential zone that does not also have an affordable housing overlay. That means that it could not be developed without substantial variances because of its narrow lot width, which is less than the minimum lot width required in the A3 zone. Back in September 2017, when I understand the town planning department was asked to find possible locations for new affordable housing projects, this third parcel, and and indeed including another parcel, was included in the draft potential affordable housing plan that was prepared. The fact that the director of the Housing Authority has recently been quoted as having suggested that the town should consider purchasing the 298 3 Mile Harbor Road parcel using UPF funds to create a buffer strip between its proposed affordable housing development and the existing homes along Harborview Avenue is not a valid reason to exclude that parcel from the new affordable housing overlay zoning. I believe the only logical and legally valid action for the town board to take would be to add the affordable housing overlay designation to all three similarly situated contiguous lots that constitute a relatively small area of A3 residential zoning. In fact, if all three parcels were to come under common ownership in the future, the hoped-for development of an affordable housing project would actually be facilitated, in my opinion, by making the zoning designation consistent for all three parcels and allowing this area to count as part of the project's required setback areas. Excluding 298 3 Mile Harbor Road from the rezoning proposal before you now might serve to benefit the town by lowering the monetary value of this parcel. However, needless to say, that is not a valid purpose that may be considered when making zoning determinations. I also want to acknowledge that Councilman Lease also raised some concern about the omission of this lot from the proposed rezoning at a prior meeting. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, David. So your point is that because 93 excuse me, is 298 is also actually A3 zoning, and therefore it would be, it's one of three lots there contiguous that are A3 zoning, and by leaving it out, you think that you believe that the town's obligated, you said, to include it?
From a zoning perspective, why would you have one lot?
I'm just trying to ask you. You said obligated, so I'm just trying to understand what you meant by that.
I say that it could be properly criticized for omitting it and could be challenged by the owners for having excluded it. I think that it's appropriate to include it if you were to approach this from purely a zoning perspective and not a spot zoning perspective.
I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to clarify that, and I appreciate your comments. You know, that's they are quite similar, a similar location, similar zoning designation. Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Any other persons on the line?
Yes.
Speak to this hearing?
Yes, there are. I'll unmute the next caller in queue right now.
Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Could you please state your name for the record?
This is Tim Fromm. I am a homeowner on Harborview Avenue. I'd like to first say thank you for looking at affordable housing options, and I think that your efforts are applauded. We need to do stuff like this. I do have a couple of questions. One is, when we did buy this property a few years back, we did so with the idea that the property was zoned the way it was behind us, knowing that there would be very little houses or certainly apartments built behind us. So, I do have that question in my mind. Is apartments, I know that they're a more affordable option and more, they make sense for density purposes. I know this is the housing authority, not the town. Would you even consider houses such as the Green Hollow process? I know it's a different group. I know you all are not the responsible builders and whatnot. I think that would be more appropriate for the neighborhood folks that did buy in that area, knowing that the property was zoned the way it was. That would be my first question. Second, actually slightly different from what the previous caller had said. That property between us, I would hope, whatever decision you make, I would hope that you actually looked at purchasing that maybe for open space or so to give us a buffer between whatever projects you do consider if you do change the zoning on that property. So I think he was referring to property 298. That would be at least a minimum, demand or requirement to make us feel at least a little bit decent about, our backyards being changed so ever, dramatically with, buildings back there that we didn't think could ever be built. Welcome your comments, your thoughts, and I'd like to know if if there are other hearings to be had on this, as it was a little cumbersome to get on, and I'm not sure all my neighbors will be able to do so.
Thanks for calling in, Tim. First of all, I'll address that last comment you made. We will be leaving the record open for written comments, so there'll be ample opportunity for the public to weigh in. They'll be able to view this meeting on demand, and we will not close the hearing until after the public transcripts have been published, and I believe we'll hold it open for a week or two beyond that. And then in terms of the future process, after designation of affordable housing overlay, if in fact that does come to fruition, any project would go through full site plan review with the town planning board, and there'll be ample opportunities for the public to weigh in during that process to shape the development and to be able to air concerns. So I hope that's helpful. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
Michael, do we have any other callers on the line?
Yes, we do. I'm going to go to the next caller in queue right now. Unmuting right now.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hello, caller. Are you there? Hearing nothing, Mr. Supervisor, I'll move on to the next caller.
Thank you, Michael.
I'm unmuting the next caller in queue right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Again, hearing nothing, Mr. Supervisor, I can move on to the next caller. Unmuting the next caller right now.
This is Lauren Bolger. Is it me that you unmuted?
Yes.
Yes, Lauren, welcome.
Yeah. Oh my God, is this a confusing way of doing things? But that's okay. I really just called to say I am in full support of adding this affordable housing overlay. I think this property is good for all the reasons that David Buddha already explained, transportation both on 3 Mile Harbor and on Springs Fireplace, and access to Daymark Deli on the one side, and that the whole Springs, oh, it's not Springs, is it? The shopping center on the other side, the one-stop shopping center. It just cries out to be developed, and it's a lovely piece of property because although it's right next to the Bistrian Sand Pit, you think, oh, the Bistrian Sand Pit, you actually, it's on a crest, and you look out over a clear, open sky. It's just, it's a lovely space, and it would be nice to have as many units there as can legally be put there. I think people will be very happy to be living there. Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to call in, Lauren. Let us know what you think.
Okay.
Michael, do we have any other callers on?
We do not have any new callers, but those 3 callers that are still in my queue who didn't speak are present if you want me to go back.
You want to just try going back? I know sometimes the callers call in just to listen to the meetings rather than participate directly.
Sure. I'll go back right now one more time. I'm unmuting the first caller in queue right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hearing nothing, I'll move on to the next one. Unmuting the next caller right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hearing nothing, I'll move on to the last one. Unmuting the caller right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hearing nothing, Mr. Supervisor, there are no other callers on the line.
Thank you, Michael. I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing after 1 week after the transcripts of the meeting are published.
Motion to close the hearing for
Hold
1
on.
week. Oops.
Hold on. Are we closing the hearing or bringing it back up again? Are we going to close the hearing and leave the record open for people's comments?
Yes,
We're going to leave the whole hearing open.
we'll leave the hearing open for public comment until 1 week after the publication of the transcript.
When we leave a public hearing open, it comes back up at another meeting. If we close it now, we can leave the record open for public.
Closed for all but public comment.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks for making that clarification. Does the board agree with that? You have a second?
Yes, I make a motion to close the public hearing except for written comments that would come through 1 week after the transcripts are posted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Carol, if you'd read the second hearing notice.
Take notice that the town board of the town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing pursuant to section 64E 6 and 112-4 of the town law of the state of New York on October 1st at 2 p.m. in the town board meeting room or as soon thereafter. This matter may be heard to consider the following: awarding a grant funding for 5 water quality improvement projects. The Springs Improvement Society, an upgrade of existing non-for-profit sanitary system to a new low nitrogen wastewater treatment system to treat 800 GPD flow from Ashwa Hall, reducing pollutant inputs to Accabonac Harbor. It's a wastewater treatment improvement, and the funding award is $82,395. The second project is Stony Brook Center for Clean Water Technology. It's an upgrade of the existing non-for-profit sanitary system to a new low nitrogen wastewater treatment system to treat 440 GPD flow from St. Luke's Episcopal Church Rectory, reducing pollutants inputs to Hook Pond. The cost of the award for that is $49,000. Third, Crow's Nest Restaurant and Motel Beach Dog Incorporated, upgrade of an existing commercial sanitary system to a new low nitrogen wastewater treatment system to treat 6,078 GPD flow from Crow's Nest, reducing the large source of pollutants to Lake Montauk. The funding award is $200,000. The next is the Incorporated Village of East Hampton, environmental dredging of approximately 7,000 to 10,000 cubic yards of excess sediment from Town Pond. The project will result in water quality benefits to Hook Pond, including phosphorus removal, aquatic habitat restoration, and improved stormwater detention and residence time. Non-point pollution abatement, the award is $191,500. Next is the Incorporated Village of Sag Harbor to design and install stormwater abatement along Bay Street, including pervious pavement for parking areas and rain gardens that capture and reduce pollutant loads and excess water from direct drainage to the bay. The non-point pollution abatement award is $230,001, pending availability of 2020 funding, or to be reconsidered in 2021 as funding is not available. Any person or party wishing to be heard with respect to the foregoing may do so in person by agent or by town attorney or by written comment addressed to the East Hampton Town Clerk, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, and actually received by the date and time of the public hearing is set forth herein. Due to the public and safety concerns related to COVID-19, Town Board will not be meeting in person in accordance with the Governor's Executive Order 202.1. The October 1, 2020 meeting of the Town Board will be held via video conferencing, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The public will have the opportunity to see and hear the meeting live and provide comments. The public can watch the live meeting on local channel, TV channel 22, at live online from the public meetings link on the LTV website. If any interested members of the public would like to provide comments on the public hearing, comments can be called in during the meeting at the call number provided herein and on the town's website and displayed on the live feed at the time of the hearing, 351-888-6531. Pursuant to the requirements of the Executive Order of the Governor of the United States of the State of New York, a transcript will be prepared of the public hearing, and the copy shall be filed with the town clerk and placed upon the town's website, and comments will be accepted in writing by the town board to be received by email to cbrennan@easthamptonny.gov or by mail to the town clerk, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, New York, 11937, and actually received at a close of business on October 8th, 2020, or 2 weeks after the posting of the hearing transcript, whichever is later. Please check the agenda posted on the website for any changes to the instructions to access the virtual meeting or for updated information.
Thank you, Carol. We have Melissa Winslow with us today, Senior Environmental Analyst with Natural Resources Department. Melissa ran us through the work session presentation of these grant awards. And Melissa, is there anything you wanted to add before we seek public comment?
No, Carol summed it up great in the notice, and I just wanted to be here in case there are any questions about the projects.
Great, thank you. Do we have any callers on the line, Michael?
Yes, we do again have callers on the line. I will unmute the first caller in queue right now.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Rusty Schmidt. Can you hear me?
Yes, Rusty. Good afternoon.
Okay, I was making sure I was the right one. I am the city engineer and landscape ecologist with the village of Sag Harbor, and am calling to support the funding of the Sag Harbor project, Village of Sag Harbor project Bay Street improvements.
Thank you, Rusty.
And can answer questions if there's any questions.
Okay, well, hold on the line, and if we need you to answer questions, we'll come back to you.
Thank you, Rusty.
Do we have any other callers on the line?
Yes, we do, Mr. Supervisor. Real quickly, do you want me to leave his line open or mute him?
Sure.
I'll leave him open, and I'll open up the next caller in queue.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm unmuting now.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Ira Barocas. You're all looking very spiffy out there on the TV. I'm calling in to say thank you, frankly, to the Department of Natural Resources, Kim Shaw and Melissa Winslow in particular, because of the assistance that they gave to the Springs Improvement Society in coming together to submit this grant to you. I'd also like to thank P.O. Lombardo of Lombardo and Associates for his tremendous assistance in putting together a proposal that met with the approval of the Water Quality Improvement Committee this time. And I just want to say that it's extremely important for all of us in the Springs because of Ashwaube's Hall's central location between Pussy's Pond and Accabonac Harbor, both of which have been listed as impaired bodies, and the fact that we have virtually the only year-round used toilet systems there by the public, and that we put on the Fisherman's Fair, although we missed number 88 this year, and also other public events, as well as allow the hall to be utilized by many community groups, from the Boy Scouts to the Girl Scouts to the PBA and so on. It's great that we'll be able to now flush with a clear conscience if you approve this. So, thank you.
Thank you for calling in, Ira. We certainly appreciate all that the Springs Improvement Society does, and it's sad in these times we couldn't have our Fisherman's Fair and many of the other activities that we would normally have throughout the summer. But again, we appreciate your support.
I'd also like to take this moment to just say thank you very much to the Accabonac Protection Committee, who recently lost its founder, Seal Downs, for their support, as well as, of course, the Springs CAC and the East Hampton Town Trustees, who were very receptive to the project and submitted something for the record. So we look forward to your approving this and getting to work as soon as we can. Thank you all very much.
Great. Thank you, Ira. Do you have any other callers on the line, Michael?
Yes, we do. I will unmute the next caller in queue right now.
Yes, this is John Parker, and I'm calling on behalf of the village. to thank you for considering this proposal. I'm on the Harbor Committee for the village, and I'm also on your Water Quality Technical Review Committee, so I'm very familiar with this. But this project fills a gap that was existing in some other projects that were approved, and so we're just very happy to have you consider it, and hopefully will be approved.
Thank you, John. Appreciate your call, support, and thanks for serving on the committee on behalf of Sag Harbor Village. Do we have any other callers on the line, Michael?
Yes, we do have one new caller. I will unmute that caller right now.
Hi, this is Lauren Bolger again, and I would like to thank Ira Barocas for getting through to you before I did, because he said pretty much everything that I wanted to say, and yes, and thank all those people, and I do hope that you approve this award. Everybody worked very hard and diligently to make sure that the best plan was put in place, and thank you, Ira, for putting it forth so well.
Great. Thanks for calling in again, Lauren. Do we have any other callers on the line, Michael?
Yes, we do have one caller who we've tried before who was not present. If you'd like, I can try again.
Sure.
All right, I'll unmute that call one more time right now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, who's speaking?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Bud Dunbar. I work as a consultant for the Center for Clean Water Technology at Stony Brook, and I'm on the CPF Committee for Water Quality in Southampton, and I just want to congratulate you guys. I think that the way that you're running this these water improvement programs is really working well. There are several cases in Cape Cod where towns have staffed a position like you have with Melissa and her staff, and it makes all the difference in the world. And there are towns that don't have that staff, and their water quality programs are lagging and very expensive and not getting the job done. So I particularly wanted to thank Father Dennis Brunel from St. Luke's for helping to basically host this project and letting the Center for Clean Water Technology help him there. Chris Clapp from the Nature Conservancy really introduced me to this program, and Melissa Winslow has just been wonderful. And I could go on. Chris Gobler's research on the water there, Frank Russo, Stuart Waugh. Anyway, this is an investment in a non-proprietary technology that you folks are making, and it has the potential to get nitrogen numbers down way below 10 into the single digits, which none of the commercial technologies have, and it's non-proprietary, so installers can start to bid with it and save a lot of money. So it's an exciting project at a wonderful site and a great program. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Bud, and we're quite proud of our staff and our department's efforts with clean water here in East Hampton. So we appreciate you calling in.
My pleasure.
Do we have any other callers on the line?
There are no new callers on the line.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close.
Go ahead. Second.
Motion to close, subject to the COVID restrictions.
Second.
And so 2 weeks after publication of transcript, the record will be closed for public comment. And all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Passed and carried. Thank you. Carol, if you'd read the third hearing notice for today.
Notice that the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing on October 1st at 2 p.m. in Town Board Meeting Room. First and thereafter, this matter may be heard to consider the following modification of an urban renewal map EH-17. Edwards Avenue is now a thorough street running from Royal Street to Middle Highway. The proposal is to terminate Edwards Avenue in a cul-de-sac approximately 170 feet west of Middle Highway and to abandon the portion of Edwards Avenue east of the cul-de-sac. The proposal is also to abandon Middle Highway between Edwards Avenue and Thomas Avenue. The proposal is also to provide designated access points for urban renewal parcels 15A, 16C, and 16D. As shown on the sketch entitled Proposed Old File Map, Study Map 501, Secretary Tax Map 300, 167.41, Montauk Villa Park, EH-17, dated August 31st, 2020. Except as mentioned above, the requirements of UR Map EH-17 will remain in full force and effect. Due to the public health and safety concerns related to COVID-19, the town board will not be meeting in person. In accordance with the governor's executive order 202.1 and the 1st of October 2020 meeting of the town board will be held via video conferencing, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The public will have an opportunity to see and hear the meeting live and provide comments. The public can watch the live meeting on local TV channel 22 and live online from the public meetings link on the LTV website. If any interested members of the public would like to provide comments on the public hearing, comments can be called in during the meeting at a call-in number provided on the town's website and displayed on the live feed at the time of the hearing. It's 351-888-6331. Pursuant to the requirements of the executive order of the governor of the state of New York, a transcript will be prepared of the public hearing and a copy shall be filed with the town clerk and placed on the town's website, and comments will be accepted and by the town board to be received by email to cbrennan@ehamptonny.gov or by mail to the town clerk, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, New York, and actually received by October 15th, 2020, or 1 week after the posting of the hearing transcript, whichever is later. Please check the meeting agenda posted on the website for any changes to the instructions to access the virtual meeting and for updated information.
Thank you, Carol. Michael, do we have any callers for this hearing?
Yes, we do have a caller on the line. I will unmute that caller right now.
Thank you.
Good afternoon again. This is David Buddha.
Hi, David.
And yes, the YouTube feature and function works more smoothly, so I appreciate the tip.
You're welcome.
I was very confused. I was very confused for a very long period of time about this proposal, which should have been a very simple matter. It's been very extenuated. It started back in way before, and it's been heard by the planning board at least 3 times, by this board at least twice before. And at this point, I really have no objections to what is being proposed, but I just wanted to make an observation and a comment. Ordinarily, the modification or approval of the amendment of a urban renewal filed map in conjunction with a subdivision usually takes place before the subdivision is filed. In this instance, the planning board was considering this matter back in 2017, and ironically, I happened to be the one at that time to suggest that it would be appropriate to approve the abandonment of the portion of Middle Highway, which is also known as Hump Path, that is along the eastern end of this property. My suggestion at that time was not taken by the planning board, was not even taken by the applicant, even though it would be for his benefit. In fact, the attorney for the applicant said that it was his belief that this is a trustee road and therefore could not be abandoned. Anyway, in 2018, the subdivision was filed. There was no need determined by the planning board or the town engineer to modify the urban renewal plans so as to allow the future abandonment of any portions of these roadways. Yes, the cul-de-sac was to be built within at the end of Edwards Avenue, and Middle Highway or Hump Path would not be developed, but no one thought that it was necessary or appropriate to take up my suggestion that Middle Highway be abandoned. I had suggested it because if it was abandoned, all 50 feet could be incorporated into the developer's private property, and therefore the 4 lots could be reconfigured to a larger equal size. I say all 50 feet can be acquired by the private adjacent landowner because that middle highway is what you would call a marginal road at the edge of the filed map. So it doesn't get split. It gets actually 100% given to the private owner if they go through the process of abandonment. Anyway, in 2019, you, Town Board, approved the modification of the urban renewal map to be consistent with the subdivision, and yet at that time, in 2019, there was no abandonment of any of the roads. Now, in 2020, someone yet new, on behalf of the applicant, made a suggestion, why don't we take advantage of this opportunity? And the planning board was given not 1, but 2 opportunities to further review the matter in June and in August. And ultimately, I guess it is the planning board's opinion that the urban renewal map should be modified, as I had first suggested. Unfortunately, it's being done after the fact, but better late than never, I always say. So with all of that, if you followed any of it, I don't disagree with the proposal. It just took an awful long time to come around to where they should have started long ago. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And yeah, it may have taken a long time, but apparently somebody got the message.
Have a great day.
Be well. Do we have any other callers?
No, we do not have any more callers at this time.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close under the COVID rulings for public hearings.
Second.
All in favor?
Can I just ask a question? The first public hearing, it's a week after the transcripts are posted. The second public hearing for water quality, we did 2 weeks. And this time we didn't specify the number of weeks.
So I think in the hearing notice, I believe it called out the number of weeks. Did it not? So in this case,
the recollection is it's 1 actually.
Yeah. This one,
you say it both ways.
said 1. This
So
one
we
said
have-
1.
Okay.
1.
so
Did the water quality say 2?
it was the AHO, I think. Also,
Now the water quality said
water quality was.
Gotcha. Okay.
No,
Thank you.
Yeah, I see one week here.
We have a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Passed and carried. Carol, if you read the 4th notice.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York and the provisions of the East Hampton Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing in the Town Hall meeting room on Thursday, October 1st at 2 p.m. or soon thereafter, as this matter may be heard concerning the following grant of scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is 171 Acabonic LLC. It's a large lot scenic easement dated June 30th. The location is 171 Acabonic Road, Suffolk County Tax Map 300, 162, 527.11, and the reviewing agency is the Planning Board. Due to the public health and safety concerns related to COVID-19, the Town Board will not be meeting in person in accordance with the Governor's Executive Order 202.1. The October 1, 2020 meeting of the Town Board will be held via video conferencing, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The public will have an opportunity to see and hear the meeting live and provide comments. The public can watch the live meeting on local TV channel 22 and live online from the public meetings link on the LTV website. If any interested members of the public would like to provide comments on the public hearing, comments can be called in during the meeting at a call-in number provided hereinafter on the town's website and displayed on the live feed at the time of the hearing. 351-888-6331. Pursuant to the requirements of the executive order of the Governor of the State of New York, a transcript will be prepared for the public hearing, and a copy shall be filed with the town clerk and placed upon the town's website. The comments will be accepted in writing by the town board to be received by email to cbrennan@ehamptonny.gov or by mail to the town clerk at 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, and actually received by close of business on October 15, 2020, or 1 week after the posting of the hearing transcript, whichever is later. Please check the meeting agenda posted on the website for any changes to the instructions to access the virtual meeting or for updated information.
Thank you, Carol. Do we have any callers, Michael?
No, there are no callers on the line.
Motion to close under COVID restrictions.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Pass and carry.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law and Chapter 16 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing on Thursday, October 1st at 2 p.m. or soon thereafter, as this matter may be heard, to hear comments of all persons wishing to be heard concerning the following grant of scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is Julie Spain, scenic and conservation easement dated June 26th for 27 Clamshell Avenue, 374, 5, 15, and the reviewing agency is the Zoning Board of Appeals. Again, we have the same COVID restrictions on this public hearing.
Okay, do we have any callers for this hearing, Michael?
No, we do not have any callers on the phone at this time.
We'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close under COVID restrictions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pass and carry. Carol, if you read the sixth hearing notice.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law and Chapter 16 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing on Thursday, October 1st, or as soon as this matter may be heard, and to hear comments of all persons wishing to be heard concerning the following grant of scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is 90-35 Holding Corp. The scenic and conservation easement dated April 21st. The location is 113 South Edgemere Street in Montauk, 328-423, and the reviewing agency CBA. In this hearing, we have the same COVID-19 restrictions.
Michael, do we have any callers for this hearing?
No, there are no callers on the line at this time.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close under COVID restrictions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Close. Pass and carried. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We did.
Pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law and Chapter 16 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing on Thursday, October 1st, 2 p.m. or soon thereafter, as this matter may be heard, to hear comments of all persons wishing to be heard concerning the following grant of a scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is Philip Way. It's a scenic and conservation easement dated August 14th. It's for 252 Gerard Drive in Springs, 342-114. The reviewing agency is the ZBA with the same COVID restrictions.
Michael, do we have any callers?
No, there are no callers on the line at this time.
Motion to close under COVID restrictions guidelines.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass and carried.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law and Chapter 16 of the Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing on Thursday, October 1st, 2 p.m. As soon thereafter as this matter may be heard, to hear comments of all persons wishing to be heard concerning the following grant of scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is Michael and Stephanie Herman. The scenic and conservation easement dated August 30th, 2019. The location is 62 Firestone Road, Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map 317-1-3.2, and the reviewing agency is the ZBA with the same COVID guidelines.
Okay, do we have any callers for this hearing, Michael?
No, we do not have any callers at this time.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close under COVID guidelines.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And carried. That brings us to the public portion of the meeting. Are there any callers on the line for public portion?
There are no callers on the line.
We will move on to resolutions. Councilwoman Burke Gonzalez.
A second, and I'll be ready to go. Okay, Resolution 2020-910 is approval of the warrant. Claims total $2,612,428.75, and the utility warrant totals $28,762.27.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pass and carry.
Resolution 2020-911 is the termination of a probationary employee, Wayne Miranda, effective October 2nd, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pass and carry.
2020-912 is to refund various permits in the town clerk's office for recycling and boat slips.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pass and carry.
2020-913 is an approval to extend the Montauk Chamber of Commerce's Farmers Market Special Event Permit. This is to have a farmers market on the green in Montauk, Saturday, October 10th and Sunday, October 11th, which is Columbus Day weekend. And this is a continuation of what they have been doing since June.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass and carry.
2020-914 is a notice to bidders, EH 20035, printing of town clerk permits. The bids available 10/1 and due back 10/15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pass and carry.
2020-915 is an amendment to the agreement with the county for the nutrition program for the elderly. And this is good news. I had talked about this in my liaison report. We had heard from the county that we were getting an increase in our grant funding from them. And we got a second notice last week that we were getting a second increase. So we've gone from $102,663 to $308,813, which is an increase of over $206,000. And I think it's a recognition of of what our human services folks have been doing for our seniors with the in-home delivery of our nutrition program.
Well deserved, and we'll take it. Second.
Second, all in favor. I just want to say briefly that that helps to sort of offset some of the shortfall. It was over $500,000, and just before I finalized the budget, that the county exec told me would not be coming in mutual aid that we normally get. So this kind of takes a little bit of the smart out of that, because that hurt. But we had to do some scrambling just days before I finalized the budget. So all in favor?
Aye.
That's carried.
I'd like to offer a resolution 2020-916 is amend the CSEA Schedule A to add a groundskeeper 1. The CSE Schedule A reflected addition of groundskeeper 1 at a grade 13 with a starting step salary of $18.23 and a 40-hour work week.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Pass and carried.
2020-917 is accepted a memorial bench donation from Claudia Cohen in the memory of Mary Starzak. Ms. Cohen would like to donate a memorial bench to the town of East Hampton in memory of her aunt, Mary, to be placed at Gin Beach facing the Gosmans.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pass and carried.
2020-918 is accepted memorial bench donation from Alicia Sullivan in memory of Virginia Robertson Sullivan. The bench that Alicia would like to donate will be as a gift to the town of East Hampton in memory of Virginia Sullivan, to be placed in an open field at Springs Park. Resolved, the town board gratefully accepts the donation by Ms. Sullivan in memory of Virginia Sullivan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pass and carried.
2020-919 is accepted memorial bench donation from Jane Weegley in the memory of Barbara Osborne Babinski Meyer. Whereas Jane would like to donate the memorial bench to a gift to the town of East Hampton in memory of Barbara Osborne Babinski Meyer, to be placed at the to be completed Wayne Scott Green. The town board hereby graciously accepts this donation in memory of Barbara Osborne Babinski Meyer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passed and carried.
2020-920 is to approve the payments of invoice number 25640 to LK McLean Associates. This is in reference to engineering services to the town pursuant to the RFPs for EH 2015-109, which is for consulting services linked to the lighted crosswalk warning systems. This additional related services was from November 1st, 2018 through May 15th, 2019 for additional $12,702.88.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
2020-921 is approve itsyourrace.com for an online registration of the Turkey Run for Fun. We discussed this at a liaison report recently. Long Island Running Incorporated has been selected to provide technical and timing services for our virtual Turkey race, which is a 3 and 6 mile walk/run, because we won't be having our annual Turkey Day race in Montauk. The virtual race will take place anytime between November 1st and the 30th. You can sign up at itsyourrace.com. It collects an administrative fee of $3.25, as well as an online pre-registration fee is $10. The company will then pay the town its entire registration fee. The registration will be closing on November 30th. And even more so, I really want to thank Long Island Running Incorporated, because Long Island Running will then be donating the timeskeeper service fees for 2020 to maximize the donations to the local food pantries of East Hampton, which are the benefactors of this race. So,
thank them.
Let's
for
start
that.
training.
Great. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
2020-922 is to amend the budget for aquaculture for water, and we're taking $300 from office expense, and it would go to water expense.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
2020-923 is to amend buildings and grounds and parks budgets for various lines, $300 for vehicle repairs, $800 for a water bill, $14,100 for upgrade tools in all departments, $4,600 for handy lift lawn, and $1,400 from town mobile phone upgrades, and $6,300 for a winter uniform jacket and pants.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
2020-924 is a Lowenstein stormwater pipe partial replacement. Whereas it's been demonstrated that the stormwater effluent that exits down to downtown Montauk Beach at the end of Surfside Place, aka Lowenstein Court, is contributing to water quality issues and a potential health threat. The town approved Resolution 2019-477 for a short-term solution to improve the water quality by installing a stormwater inlet filter. I think it's a big Fabco filter, a new vault that they were putting in there. Upon a camera inspection, anticipation, the stormwater inlet filter vault installation, the condition of pipe was found to be very poor condition and had to be replaced. This is to accept a proposal from Patrick Bistrian Jr. to provide a new piping into this location for 300 feet of linear pipe for a total cost of $35,280 to pay part of the list of the town drainage contract from budget line CA 8802-54500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. I'm happy to see that this is moving forward. This has been a long time water quality issue that the town board's addressing now. Look forward to that going to completion.
It's going to be a big improvement to the beachfront in that area down there based on what's historically happening from legacy drainage issues. So I'm also happy to see that moving forward.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the support. 2020-925 is to amend the Montauk Historical Society's license agreement. They're requesting for a temporary trailer, whereas the town authorized by Resolution 2014-1019, adopted on August 7, 2014, a license agreement for the Montauk Historical Society to operate Second House Museum for historical preservation, promotion, and safekeeping. Recently, right now, that resolution is for 20 years. Recently, with Second House building structure under restoration, they have requested a temporary trailer for their executive director to be placed on site. And this will be a resolution to allow for the temporary to amend the current license agreement to the town to place a temporary office trailer at Second House Museum site for a term of 1 year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
2020-926, a termination of seasonal employee Evan Marzan, retroactive to September 16th, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. If we could just take a pause, I believe we have a caller on the line. I'd like to hear from the public. Michael, we still have the caller on the line?
Yes, we do. I will unmute that caller right now.
Thank you.
Hello, caller.
Yes, this is John Parker again. I just wanted to make a comment going back to the beginning of the meeting in terms of the award to John Ryan. Back 55 years ago, I was a water safety instructor for the town of East Hampton, and things were very primitive back then. And I'm glad to see that the degree to which it's improved, and I congratulate John and others for working on that over the years.
Thank you, John, for calling in and offering your congratulations and for your service back in the day. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Do we have any other callers on the line, Mike?
No, we do not have any more callers.
Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. If you'd please continue.
Yes, Resolution 2020-927 is Cohen Grant of Scenic and Conservation Easement to schedule a public hearing. The public hearing is Thursday, October 15th, 2020 at 11 a.m. It's for Andrew Cohen at the Scenic and Conservation Easement at 161 Marine Boulevard in Amagansett. The reviewing agency is the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution 2020-928 is a notice of public hearing for 2021 Community Development Block Grant Funds. And the hearing is, hold on. The hearing is November the 5th, 2020 at 2 p.m. East Hampton expects to receive approximately $125,000 in federal community development block grant funds. These funds may be used and have been previously used for a variety of projects that benefit low and moderate income persons. Examples of eligible activities include housing rehab, elimination of physical barriers to the handicap, public facilities and improvements, street improvements, public service activities, neighborhood improvement programs. I would also say that all persons wishing to address the town board with regard to this matter may do so in person, by agent, or in writing, addressed to the town board, care of the town clerk, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, New York, 11937, said writing to be clearly marked on the outside for CDBG, Community Development Block Grant Public Hearing, 11/5/2020, 2 p.m.
I would ask that we amend this resolution to put the COVID guidelines into that notice like all the rest. So if you could adopt it amended, I will make that change.
Second is amended.
Second as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 2020-929 is 3 Kid Surf Shack LLC grant of scenic easement. Schedule a public hearing. It's for October 15th, 2020 at 11 a.m. Grantor is 3 Kid Surf Shack LLC. It's a scenic and conservation easement at 5 Agnew Avenue, Montauk. And it's the reviewing agency is Zoning Board of Appeals.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passed and carried.
Resolution 930 is a budget modification for HCV administrative COVID costs. HCV stands for Housing Choice Voucher Program. The town has received a second tranche of $26,534 from the CARES Act. An additional administrative money in August of 2020 to be used for COVID-related costs in the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. So resolve that the following budget lines are increased as follows. So there's a receiving for 26,535 line, and also the same amount would be used for related expenses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes and carried.
Resolution 2020-931 is to amend the sanitation budget for motor vehicle repairs from one budget line under general repair in the amount of $4,000 to the budget line for motor vehicle supplies in the amount of $4,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes and carried.
Resolution 2020-932 is to accept additional community development block grant money through the CARES Act. This is $5,000 that is being used because we are using it as for administrative expenses that are associated with the rental assistance program. So one line is the revenue of $5,000, and the expense line is it's moved into the another line for the expense line.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes and carried.
Resolution 933 is a repurchase of a home in Whalebone Woods. This is notified that the estate of Richard Rosenthal has owner of a home constructed under the town's affordable housing program. It's located at 19 Joshua Edwards Court in East Hampton and wishes to sell the home. The town has the right of first purchase and a right of recapture equal to 60% of the appraised value of the land. Appraised the house and the property at $540,000, the land alone at $350,000. The town is entitled to 3% administrative fees when it markets the home under the affordable housing program. The town is desirous of maintaining the house as part of its affordable housing program and acquire 100% interest in the property. So it is resolved that the supervisor is authorized to repurchase the house located at 17 Joshua Edwards Court in East Hampton, according to the formula contained in the covenants and restrictions. I just read some of that information to you. And we will be reselling the house and leasing the land pursuant to a 99-year lease for $190,000 plus cost of any improvements. Therefore, in the form of an assumable mortgage and investing $140,000 in the property for affordable housing purposes from the Community Housing Opportunity Fund.
Second.
Can I just make a comment? The first whereas clause says 19 Joshua Edwards Court, and the first resolve says 17 Joshua Edwards Court. I went back into a document that we were forwarded by Tom Rule, and it's 19 in the document in our email. So
we'll have as amended.
As amended.
So we're going to have it as amended to 19, but we do need to double check just to make sure that is accurate.
Yep.
What's the name again? I can do it right now.
19 Joshua, Joshua, Edwards Court.
What's the name? Richard Rosenthal?
Yes.
It is 19 Joshua Edwards Court.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
amended for both of them to say 19.
So the resolved paragraph to be changed to 19 Joshua Edwards Court. Second is amended.
As amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass carried. Thank you, Sylvia.
Resolution 2020-934 is to amend the budget for the town attorney's office by moving $12,000 from unreserved surplus into outside professional services.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pass and carried.
Resolution 2020-935 approves an amendment of the 2020 CPF Management and Stewardship Plan to incorporate the expenses for the development of Wayne Scott Green, and the amount of that is, I know it's around $62,000, and I'm not seeing it.
64,635.
6435. Thank you, Kathy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution 2020-936 is to authorize an agreement with FPM Group for East Hampton Airport Air and Soil Environmental Studies at the cost of $28,000.
28 for the soil, and it's 56,330 for the air.
Sorry about that.
Second.
Thanks for your.
All in favor?
Yeah, the type's small, Jeff.
Aye.
I'm reading my phone. We're having technical issues here.
Okay, and I think that brings it up to me. Resolution 937 is the appoint zoning board of appeals member to replace the remaining term of Joan McGiver, and that would be Edward Johann from Montauk.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass and carry. Welcome aboard, Edward.
Thank you very much, Edward, too.
938 is to appoint part-time office assistant Xu Chen Chen, and that's at an hourly rate of $17.80.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And carried. 939 is termination of probationary employee Nicole Payne, and that's effective retroactive September 4th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed and carried. 940 is amend resolution 2020-482, approve Motorola Solutions service agreement to include annual rather than monthly payments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passed and carried. Resolution, I don't think it's printed on my page, did it? Let's see. There it is. 941. Amend budget for bond issuance costs, and that is moving $40,000 from health insurance to outside professional.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried. 942 is amend highway budget for telephone. That's moving $2,500 from subcontractor to telephone in the same amount.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried. 943 is to amend ordinance budget for telephone, and that's move $2,200 from part-time salaries to telephone in the same amount.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
944 is to pay NYMER deductible Corelli, and this is in the matter of damaged vehicle, and the amount is $4,606.15.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried. 945 is establish a leave bank shared time for a town attorney employee, and that's for a period pay period 21, beginning September 27, 2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried. 946 is to retain a ComSearch frequency protection services, and that's resolved that the cost is $350 per year, 5-year term. Total cost $1,750.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passed and carried. Any other matter or resolutions bring before the board?
Mr. Supervisor, there is a new caller on the line if you would like to take one.
Okay, yes, let's please take a comment from the public.
Okay, one moment. I will be unmuting that caller right now.
Thank you, Michael.
Good afternoon. I'm going for the hat trick. This is David Booth.
Oh, the trifecta. Mr. Boot is back.
Two things. One, I just wanted to comment. I didn't hear anything, and I didn't miss any of the meeting. If you can believe what you read in the papers, in several local articles, I thought we were in a situation where our chief auditor was in the process of resigning and accepting full-time employment at our neighboring town, and so I expected to hear or see something about that on your agenda today, but I did not. So if you'd like to comment on that, and then I'll go on to the second topic.
I can comment on that. Charlene Cagle, who's been financial auditor for about a decade and really came on at the height of the financial crisis and has worked diligently for us ever since, has decided to take a position with Southampton Village and at a rate at significant increase to what the town pays. And I know she had talked about retiring at some point soon, so we certainly wish her all the best. I'm not one to stand in the way of one finding a better situation, but I'll take this opportunity to thank Charlene for all her many years of dedication, and I know she stayed here a little longer than she originally planned, and I appreciate her sticking around to help us to get to the point where we are now. So that's the story with Charlene Cagle. And
well, Peter, can I just add one more thing about Charlene? I think within the the opening paragraphs of your tentative budget, you see how Charlene was able in the last decade that she was here guide us through the bonds that were needed to get out of that deficit, and that last bond being paid down in March. And I think she was, along with Len, a great architect to that also, to get the town in great financial standing, put a lot of protocols in place. So
yeah, and I think really it's a matter of having someone with the auditing skills that she had. You know, she's the president of the GFOA, the Government Association of Finance Officers, and we've won awards for our accounting and government accounting for many years in a row now, thanks to Charlene. And I think, you know, the town went through some serious growing pains, you know, from a small town to really high finance, if you will. I mean, you know, with all the various demands between health insurance and other municipal obligations, that to be able to track and account for all of that went from being, you know, something you could keep in a ledger book to something you really need to keep on a computer server. So, you know, she was around to help institute the kind of protocols and guide us. I mean, that template is well established and set now, and you know, those are preventative measures to keep the town from slipping into some sort of a financial problem that we saw, you know, a decade ago.
And if I could say, Charlene was not only, you know, a tremendous financial mind and someone we could all go to, but she's also was a bright light in town hall, and she will be, you know, really missed.
Absolutely.
I'd like to join in on that too. She's a real steady hand. Well, always good to have Charlene there to bounce ideas off of and get her comments. She's a great person to work with.
Yeah. So I'll just chime in and said, you can't get away with anything with Charlene, which was great. So, appreciated her skills a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. David, you had some more comments you wanted to make or questions?
Yes. Yes. I want to address the question of town board and town offices returning at some point in the future to some more sense of normalcy. You had said a month ago that you thought perhaps by the end of September, town board meetings would take a new form. Even though I enjoy this Zooming and now YouTubing, which allows us to sit here and you don't know what kind of clothing, if any.
Too much information.
But
I think we'll keep them remote meetings, David, given that last comment.
But what I do want to say that is that I have good news and bad news as far as the town offices. I was able to have appointments at several offices this week to view files of the planning board, the former town engineer, the building department, and the assessor's office, although at this point in time it appears that the public access computers in both the building department and in the assessor's office are kaput or out of working order, and there does not appear to be any particular plan to enable those to be reactivated. And that is also troubling with respect to the building department, because due to some staff changing there, you made some changes today, and they're kind of falling behind in responding to the research requests. And it would have been helpful if I could have just printed them out as per the prior way of doing business in the old world.
Well, thanks for bringing that to our attention. We'll certainly follow up to see. I think since so many of the records are, you know, are available by computer or electronically, you know, that having a portal, and I guess we have to figure out how to do that in a safe way so it doesn't become a vector for COVID. You know, I think having a lot of people sharing a computer terminal might be somewhat problematic, but we'll take a look at that and see if we can figure out a way.
Yeah, we really have to move East Hampton into the present and future as far as electronic access. I think Southampton town is far ahead of us in that respect. Even the Suffolk County Tax Service Agency has now digitized all of the tax maps and made them available to the public, which is a new feature that many people don't know about yet. And there really needs to be some type of coordination with eGovern to provide direct access from the user.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of this, and I'll agree with you that Southampton spent a lot of money a number of years ago to try to go 100% digital. We've been in the process in the last several years, and it's something that I originally brought forward to digitize town records and to make them accessible to the public. Now, we haven't gone through all our departments. It's an incredibly expensive process. But we have, started with building department. We're looking at the police department now. The assessor's office is underway. We're working with a company called Siri. You may be familiar, having, given that you follow all of the board activities and resolutions, but I'm sure you can see from those resolutions, this is a very expensive process. And it's with the idea and the goal of to be able to get to the point where we can license to commercial users similar to the Southampton model, to be able to access and to give a portal to residents and property owners to their own information at no charge. So that is a work in progress. It's going to take a lot of time, though, David, to be frank.
Okay, what do you call one more than a trifecta?
That's
Have a great day.
A quadfecta? I don't know, honestly. Thank you for calling, David.
I've had my share. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, be well. I'm glad you got your fill. So any other callers, Michael?
Well, Mr. Supervisor, that caller before, John Parker, is still on the line if you want me to see if he wants to chat. Otherwise, he's just listening.
Yeah, I mean, just check briefly.
Okay.
Again, some people like to hang on the line just to listen to the meetings rather than...
I'll unmute that right now. Hello, caller. You're live with the town board. Hearing nothing, we can move on.
Yeah, you may have just left the line open. Okay, if there are no other matters to bring before the board, I'll entertain a motion to go into exec.
Are we going into exec for CPF personnel litigation?
At 4 o'clock, shall we say?
It is now 3:27. So do you want to say 4 o'clock?
Does that give everyone enough time? I'm ready to go.
I'm ready now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go now too.
Okay, let's go into exec session then at 3:30.
Okay, we are going to go into exec session.
Will you send us a new link?
I will.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. Be well, stay safe.
All right. Thank you.